Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the WardiTV Monday, number 5. I'm, of course, your ZvP, and with me, I'm joined by these amazing players, the people in the chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our second broadcast of the day. Earlier in the morning, we were live with Tenacious Turtle Tussle, and now we are here with the WardiTV Monday. Again, !B to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked. We are here in the round of 32, and we have our first series. We are spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Site Delta, representing himself, currently teamless, I believe, recently did leave the Platinum Heroes. It is YoungYakov. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss. It is ReBellioN. And if you are in the chat, you know what time it is. It is time to get your gamba going. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck. Best of luck in the chat. I do want to give the edge to YoungYakov, but ReBellioN can hold his own, and this could go either way. This is reminding me a little bit of the series we casted last night of ReBellioN versus Nikic. Now ReBellioN versus YoungYakov. Let's go. Let us go as the initial probe scout is moving out. And again, we're settling in. The bracket is quite large. There's a lot to go over. Catching up in the chat. That's a lot of Protoss. I mean, that's your typical online tournament. It's fine. It's fine. We're used to it, Papi. We're used to it. I'll do my best to avoid PvPs for as long as I can. Usually that's how we do approach things when it comes to covering online events, is that we avoid mirror matchups while we can, because eventually we will be embracing them. We'll get there eventually. We'll get there. But the bracket is stacked. A lot to go over. For now, we're settling in. The first round. We do have our initial opener, hatch gas pool. Everything looking as it should for the time being from the side of YoungYakov. Likewise, ReBellioN going for the gate expand into Cybercore. When it comes to settling into this game, when it comes to our players' playstyles as well, we spoke about this last night, how ReBellioN, he is known for his kind of mid-game oriented play, more aggressive builds in the mid-game as well, while going into Glaive Adepts, while going for 2 base all-ins, 3 base aggression as well. That's where ReBellioN typically does thrive. Less so in a longer, later game, less so, but we'll see how he does compare. Likewise, YoungYakov did recently leave his team. If you were tuning into the podcast, we went over all the player roster changes, the team roster changes, and there have been a lot of changes here over the past week. A lot of players leaving Platinum Heroes, a lot of players joining other teams instead. YoungYakov was one of those players that did end up leaving. Did cite that he wanted to be teamless for a little bit, does fully intend to continue to compete and continue to perform, but for now is representing himself. He's going to be repping himself instead, which was an interesting decision. We were kind of like theorizing the reasoning why. I assumed that maybe he wanted to be less active, maybe focusing on other things, and he didn't want to feel like obligated to compete in like team leagues or anything like that for the Platinum Heroes, so he wanted to be teamless for a while. But I'm uncertain. It is a little bit unclear as to that, especially considering that he's still competing, like he's still playing. Regardless of depth shading in towards the main. Link's trying to keep up. So far, so good. Means we'll zone that adept down. And ReBellioN shouldn't get much done here. Gets a bit of scouting information, does shade away, we'll get the hell out of there. Back at home should soon be expanding. It is going to be a Stargate opener into Oracle, into, I imagine, a third. ReBellioN does get the hell out of there. Meanwhile, YoungYakov going for a very early Roach Warren. Ooh, that is a, what, 340, 335-ish Roach Warren timing. Very early on. Third base soon to be taken, but it looks like YoungYakov is going to be the aggressor. Again, there's no reason to throw down a Roach Warren this early, unless you are anticipating something like a Glaive Adept opener, like a Twilight Council. But alas, we know, and YoungYakov knows, it's an Oracle. Here's the Stargate instead. 3, 4 drones going down. 5 drones! Oh my god! 5 workers do full. Nice start here for ReBellioN. And now YoungYakov realizes does cancel the Roach Warren. So it looks like YoungYakov was just playing safe. That's why he threw down the Roach Warren. Once he realized it was a Stargate, he cancels. Again, there's no reason to throw down a Roach Warren unless YoungYakov was going for an all-in. Looks like he's not going for the all-in, so he does kind of pivot away, does deviate, is getting into upgrades. And this should be the beginning of Ling Hydra. As the Oracle pokes in, threatens the third. I mean, so far, 5 drone kills. It's been an efficient trade so far by ReBellioN. Gets Revelation off, and hasn't seen any tech yet. No tech in sight. Behind this, we can see ReBellioN getting into a Forge, into +1, into Twilight Council. I'm curious if ReBellioN is going to be embracing Charge or Blink. They both have their place, and it is going to be Charge. So Charge Lot Archon for ReBellioN. Now, I assumed that it was going to be Ling Hydra for YoungYakov, but no, he does end up throwing down a later Roach Warren. I'm curious if that is going to just be a safety Roach Warren, in case he does need it, in case ReBellioN goes for an earlier move out, or if it's, or if it's something that he intends to commit into Lingbane Roach Ravager. That is still an option for YoungYakov. Oh, I have to get rid of the turtle. Again, we were live earlier this morning with the Tenacious Turtle Tussle, so I will have to get rid of that. My apologies. The free branding. I will make sure to remove that before game 2. Do my best. Meanwhile, Archon production on the horizon. There's the Gateway Explosion. Usually this would lead into a move out in line with the completion of the Temple Archives, but we'll see how many Zelts get warped in. As the War Prism has arrived. Oracle's moving out. Roach production has begun, so it looks like it is going to be Lingbane Roach Ravager. I mean, say that. For now, just going to be Ling Roach Ravager. Ooh, and we skip the Baneling Nest, going for the Hydra Den. Okay, so YoungYakov, he's just playing it out very safely. He will have an army to work with, to defend, to survive, to take up. There are some players that would skip the Roach Warren and just go straight Hydra, and it can be risky to do so. And you can see YoungYakov is not taking any risks. He's got a good amount of roaches. Infestation Bit's on the way. Does spot the initial Archons. He's trying to keep up. ReBellioN moving out. More Zealot reinforcements coming in. But with plenty of roaches, YoungYakov should be fine. And he comes in with the surround, locks down the roaches, shuts him down as well. Prism a little bit too far back, unable to save the Archons. And again, this defense would have been a lot more difficult for YoungYakov if he hadn't thrown down the Roach Warren. You can see the roaches, they completely shut this down. So nice defense here by YoungYakov. Behind this, 19 drones on the way, Hive and Lurker Den as well. So YoungYakov, he's not going for a big counterattack. He could, to be honest. I mean, after losing those Archons, there's no Immortals, there's only a Gateway army. YoungYakov could try to punish this. Alas, he opts to tech up and get further ahead by droning, by getting into Hive, into Lurkers. The Lurkers, Pappy, they're coming. They are coming. Meanwhile, across the map, ReBellioN, he's trying to stabilize. Getting a fourth, building up his Immortal count. Second Robo's on the way. That's going to be for double Immortal production. But honestly, YoungYakov is looking quite safe and quite secure. Right now, the pressure is on ReBellioN to pop off with a Zealot run by, a DT counterattack, just some kind of economic damage. Zealots, they do hit the southern expansion, but there are roaches in position. Oh, it's going to be close. Up, the base. It looks like it does go down. Okay, forcing a cancel, not bad for 2 Zealots. A nice big off here from ReBellioN. Does pull away. YoungYakov moving out towards the north. It's headed for that 4th expansion. He wants it back. Oh, it is going to be punished though. Nice force fields. ReBellioN knocking down some of those roaches. Archons on the way. Storm just now starting. Say just now starting. We have the contamination. Let's go. Contamination on the storm. Will delay. YoungYakov trying to force the issue, but I do feel like he's being a little bit premature. And once again, beautiful force fields. The roaches are locked down, and so many roaches fall. Without Ravagers, there's just no answer to the force fields. Hydra's poking forward. They pick up the Archons. Nice pick up towards the end, but that was a better trade for ReBellioN. Very efficient. And YoungYakov, now he backs off, and now we should be seeing the Lunkers. There they are. Let's go. The Lunkers are coming. Lurker production has begun. As Lurker production begins, there's a Fleet Beacon. Now, this is going to be a bit of a later Fleet Beacon for ReBellioN, so later Skytools. It means that there's a window, there's a timing where YoungYakov can thrive with Lurkers before ReBellioN really takes to the skies. The Immortal count, though, is looking quite healthy. Looking at 6 Immortals. Links are pushing forward. Where are the Archons? Where are the Storms? Uh-oh. Okay. Storm's coming in. Lurker's pushing forward. Lurker range has completed. Shield battery goes down, and the fourth base is forfeit. And the Lurkers, they're ready. They're in position. The Nexus goes down. 7 probe kills as well. The Prism, oh my god. Prism does run into the Hydras. Decent storms, but alas, ReBellioN, he just cannot engage, not into this army. Oh, actually, up to 7 Immortals. With a heavy Immortal count, he can break through this. And there we go, takes down the Hydras, gets rid of the Lurkers as well. Do we have detection? We do not. No detection! Where's the Observer? Oh my god. And a big smash just going off. If there was an Observer with the army, this Lurker count would have been completely reset. Revelation does miss the Lurkers. And Yakov, he gets away in time, does preserve at least some of his army, and is rebuilding and remaxing. And the problem is that even though ReBellioN, he had some efficient fights and was able to kill some roaches and some lurkers and some hydras, the problem is the expansion. The problem is his economy. Did lose the base, did lose the fourth, is stuck on a 3-base economy, long distance mining, and that means that YoungYakov can remax. He can remax, he can rebuild. ReBellioN needs more time. Is getting a hefty immortal count out. It's going to be almost purely High Templar immortal. Very similar to Estrella, if you recall. A couple of days ago, we casted Estrella versus Dark. It had a very similar kind of army composition. It's so fragile, it's so vulnerable to a surround, as there's so little to support this Robo High Templar army. At a certain point, the Immortals, they support themselves. The Lurkers are pushing forward, Tempest production has begun. And YoungYakov, he makes his way right on top of that third Nexus. Decent storms. Oh, spine shots are brutal. So many Immortals going down, pushing into a concave. Oh my god. And the Immortals, they melt. GG gets called, and YoungYakov takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Oh, I do need a moment to get rid of the turtle. Hold on. Before I forget. There we go. But GG, well played. Again, YoungYakov, he was able to have quite an impactful, quite an important engagement where he was able to shut down the initial Archon Zealot aggression. Just like that, YoungYakov, he was free to drone, free to tech. If you remember, it was after that initial failed push by ReBellioN where YoungYakov, he made 19 drones, a hive, and a lurker den. Went for all 3 at once, as he was safe to do so, and ReBellioN just couldn't really punish him. From there, YoungYakov could max out, and it was his goal to make sure that he was able to knock down the 4th base over and over again. Just making sure that ReBellioN couldn't really stabilize, couldn't max out, couldn't really have the economy to embrace Skytoss. He was getting there, you know, he was working on Tempest production, but it was too little too late. And with that, GG, YoungYakov takes the lead. Now we get into game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. As we're settling into game 2 and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alkion, and we have our red Zerg player. Representing himself, currently teamless, leading the series 1-0, it is YoungYakov. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing himself, Clan NWCE. It is ReBellioN. Here we go. See someone asking in the chats, because yeah, those that are curious about the Tuna Cup, the Sparkling Tuna Cup, if you will, that was last night, if you recall. That was like 24 hours ago, or just under 24 hours ago. Was last night, and it was Cristiano. Fun fact: Cristiano did not drop a single map. he went undefeated, perfect score, 2 0s and 3 0s all around. He had a very dominant performance over the weekend on a Sunday night. But alas, I believe Cristiano, he is not here in this bracket. Let me just double check. Yes, he's not here in tonight's bracket for the WardiTV Monday, unfortunately. Would have been great to have seen him back to back, but not tonight. As we are settling in, YoungYakov going hatch gas pool. Meanwhile, ReBellioN opening up, gates expand. So far, so good. Light even has a turtle-style shirt for the occasion. What does that mean? Turtle? Hold on. I guess kind of. I get what you're saying. I was a little bit confused. Not gonna lie, but sure. I see it. I see it. Ah, beautiful. I'm covered in a shell. It'll keep me safe. But now though, we're settling in. Again, standard open out of ReBellioN. Likewise, YoungYakov across the map, droning up. Again, hatch gas pull into link speed. Pulls out of gas as well, so there's no crazy Bane bust, there's no Roach Rush or Fast Lair. If you recall, last game, YoungYakov, he was very safe and he went for an early Roach Horn, which he cancelled once he realized he didn't need it. I'm curious if he intentionally goes for a fast Roach Horn this time. But now just skirting around the edge of the map. Ling's dipping in, getting a full scout of the main. Alas, there is nothing in the wall. A probe was out. And YoungYakov will be able to confirm. He does confirm the entirety here of the setup, the Stargate opener, and the Oracle as well. Oh! So YoungYakov should be feeling pretty safe. Should be feeling safe and secure. Can drone. Adept is across the map. But that is 16 links on the way. So these links for YoungYakov, they're designed to not just shut down the Adepts, but to delay the third, and to keep the Oracles busy. And here come those links. They're skirting around the edge. Behind this, YoungYakov, he's droning up. As the Oracle moves out, the links, they are going to be moving in. Just waiting for the third base. Meanwhile, ReBellioN going for a Twilight Council before the third. Okay, yeah, my attention. Going for a much more aggressive follow-up. Now, this should be for Glaives. This should be for 4-gate Glaive Adepts. Lings, they get in position. They will delay the third. They take down one Adept. And almost a second. Second Adept barely does survive. Shades across. Lings going for the Cybercore. The Cybercore is exposed. And it looks like the Cybercore is going to go down. The Oracle, it's across the map. It's not at home to defend. And that's going to be a massive pickup, considering it was meant to be Glaives. Cybercore falls. Cybercore is being forced to rebuild. There we go. Glaives is being researched, but this will heavily delay any Adept production. So ReBellioN is in a rough position here. Oracle didn't get any damage done across the map. Safety Roach Horns on the way, just under the 5-minute mark. And YoungYakov, he should be fine. We have some Spore Crawlers, so YoungYakov, he should be ready for Oracles, for DTs, and the Roaches will be done, or will be ready in time for the Adepts. And YoungYakov, he's all over this. Takes down the probe, denies the third, forces a cancel. And it's just been a rough start for ReBellioN. Again, this wouldn't have gotten as much damage done if ReBellioN had gone for a second Oracle. The second Oracle would have been out in time, would have been able to defend, clean up the Lings, defend the Cybercore, expand, take a third base. That's why typically in a standard game you would see double if not triple Oracle production. Oracles, they do so well harassing across the map and defending back at home. But ReBellioN intentionally only made one. He only made the one. It was across the map. Because he was going into Glaives, he was punished. He was punished for it in the end. And now it's a 2-base all-in. That's a lot of gateways. We have 3 gateways here on the low ground. We have 4 in the main, 7 in total. So 2-base, 7-gate Glaive Adept. And it's all or nothing at this point. It's all or nothing for ReBellioN. He's moving out across the map. That's a lot of Adepts. And back at home, Roaches. Roaches are on the way. We also have some nice SimCity ready to wall off to make sure we can deny the Shade into the natural. Drone is in position to wall. Adepts are pushing in. And do we wall off in time? Oh, we do. The wall is set up. Adepts, they commit. They knock down the wall. But that will slow them down. Yeah, boys are being pulled away. The Adepts, they make their way to the mineral line. They get a couple of drone kills. It's an okay start, but more needs to be done. And shading into the main, catching a queen. Uh-oh. Getting even more workers, though. That's a lot of drones. 9. Almost 10. 9 drones go down, forcing the recall. ReBellioN gets the hell out of there. is taking his third, and he's looking to rush into disruptors. The Bay is on the way for that disruptor production. And that was some okay damage, but ideally ReBellioN wanted more. He wanted more than just 9 drone kills. He's still down in workers. YoungYakov getting a 4th. Lair is done. Roach speed is on the way. And now YoungYakov, he can focus on droning up, on saturating his bases, then building up and getting ready for a counterattack. He's got a good amount of roaches. Still just building up. Likewise, ReBellioN just calming things down, building up. First disruptor is on the way. And that I was not expecting. Okay, so YoungYakov, instead of getting ready for a Roach Ravager move out, he's building up roaches, true, but we have a Spire on the way. And there's a lot of potential in this Spire. I mean, Blink is heavily delayed because of the Glaive Adepts, so Blink is going to be far later. Stalker production in general, very low. YoungYakov is threatening a move out. He's forcing a reaction out of ReBellioN. Forcing out more shield batteries, more pylons. 4th base is going to be denied. And YoungYakov just making sure there is no 4th. And at the moment, there's just no good answer to mutas. There's no answer, there's no scouting. There it goes off. Roaches, they trade with the Adepts. And just poking in. YoungYakov, he shouldn't commit. Up, catches a Disruptor. Not bad. Disruptor goes down. Can he get a second? He can! And 2 Disruptors fall. And even if YoungYakov doesn't break the main army, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not about the roaches, it's about the mutas. There it is. 8 mutas are on the way. Now, the mutas might force an all-in. It might force a counterattack, but even if that's the case, YoungYakov, he preserves his roaches, and he can build up more behind this. +1 air attack is on the way. Oracle dips in. Gets forced back, gets 4 drone kills, not bad. But no scouting. There's no scouting whatsoever here at the natural. There's also the downside of staying on a low Oracle count. If you had 2-3 Oracles, you could be more active, you can dip in between the bases, get revelations off. Alas, ReBellioN, he's in the dark. And here come the mutas. That's a lot of muta. That's how many? 14! 14 mutas moving out. Adepts, they get across the map, they can threaten the shade. There are roaches to defend. And mutas, they hit the natural. Probes are going down left and right. And there's no saving them. Oh my god. 7, 8, 9, 11 probe kills. And we're not done. We've only just begun. YoungYakov wreaking havoc in the main as well. Picking up more probes. Getting contamination on the forge, on the upgrades. And we'll get 18 plus probe kills behind this, building up a ground-based army. Getting into +1 melee. Catching the prism. And I believe actually still making more mutas, yeah. Up to 19, soon to be 25 mutas. And here comes the all-in. As we mentioned, mutas, they do sometimes just force a big all-in out of the Protoss. It's all or nothing for ReBellioN. He's got 26 Stalkers, he's got 1 Disruptor. Oh, nice blink. Catch Gauntlings, then a Roach. But YoungYakov, he has maxed out, Nova goes off. Ooh, big connection! Not a bad start there by ReBellioN. Blink is done, +1, less so, it was contaminated earlier. And even with the clutch transfuse, keeping the mutas alive. And GG gets called ReBellioN, he runs out of steam. And YoungYakov will take the series at 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to YoungYakov as it does claim the series does advance on. My condolences to ReBellioN. Again, it was just a really unfortunate start, especially here in Game 2, where ReBellioN, he was just punished for his build, punished for his opener, punished for only opening up a single Oracle into a delayed third, into a depths. It meant that he was unable to protect his natural, he lost a cyber core, he lost a third base, just everything went from bad to worse at the start of the game. And ReBellioN, he kind of stumbled into the mid game and just was unable to really get his footing, unable to stabilize. Was trying to, but alas, YoungYakov, that's where he went for the mass muta switch and did catch ReBellioN with his pants down. did catch him with his pants down. GG, well played. Congratulations to YoungYakov. Shout out to ReBellioN, of course, for competing here, but he is knocked out of the tournament. And now we can take this moment to have a look at the bracket. Let's go. Excellent. Look back at yourselves